This is a good one. How to heal your relationship with your mom and dad. Yeah, that's a big can of worms right there, but I wanted to open it today and dedicate my video all towards ways that you can heal your relationship with your mom and dad. So let's get started on that video. Let's get started. I really hope that this really challenges some of the belief systems you have and also really allows the opportunity for you to show up to your relationships outside of your mom and dad too. This could be any relationship in a more powerful and profound way. You can do it, and this video is your first step. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I'm Ashley Ducey, an internationally recognized wood-burning mandala artist, and here on my channel, I share all things positive and uplifting. We all have different subconscious programs, different belief systems that we've inherited from our family. We are born into our family and we are conditioned for years and years and years to behave in the ways that are acceptable to them. And that either creates a lot of harmony or it can create dis-ease. I don't know anyone who has just there's stuff that comes up when it comes to your parents. Let's be honest. And there's good, there's bad, there's great, there's sad, there's whatever. And this video is about helping you move through those without creating just that heaviness in your life. Because sometimes relationships with our family can be rather heavy. This is about creating more light and allowing you to take your control back, allowing you to take your control into how can you show up in a bigger way so these relationships around me affect me less. I'm in my power more, I'm in my confidence more, and how they choose to show up is less of a mere reflection of me and more of just an understanding of your relationships. And I kind of made that a little much, but let's get started with number one. Number one is recognizing that your parents or this relationship in your life is separate from you. They are a soul that's incarnated into a body just like you are. Oftentimes when we take things personally, when we take on other people's stuff, it's because we don't have a separation. We don't have that boundary between us and them. We take on and we conform to who it is they are, how it is they're feeling, instead of recognizing that they're on a separate journey. That oftentimes happens as we get older. We're like, oh wait, our parents are just normal people. Do you remember having that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, my mom was just I'm the same age as my mom when she had me or whatever, and she's just a person. She's just a separate human being. We each choose to incarnate in our bodies, and our soul comes into this body to our family for a specific reason. We chose to be here as this body chose us to be within it, and our family chose us to be within it. We are not a victim to our families and to the relationships. We are simply in service to this soul that came into our body to create a journey for our life. And part of that journey is overcoming challenging relationships, is growing through them. And the best way of doing that is through our parents, through being able to understand that they are separate from us. They did the best that they could. They might have done things wrong. They might have done things right. They might have done things just not how you would have done them, but they were doing the best they could with who they are, their own soul incarnated in body. So being able to separate yourself from them and allows you to separate from being a victim of them. You can take your power back. You can be like, you know what? They're just an individual on a journey just like me. They're gonna make mistakes just like I am going to make some mistakes. I am not perfect, nor are they. They are on their own journey. That allows kind of some of that tension, some of that pain from maybe some past experiences with them or some past challenges with them, some past arguments with them. It allows it to be a little more just manageable. When you just simply separate them and be like, hey, they're doing their best. I honor them for being in their journey. I am equally in my own. It allows you to create that boundary. And when we can create that boundary, we can begin to heal. It's only when we can create somewhat of a boundary towards the things that are challenging to us that we can truly begin to heal and empower our healing on a continuous basis. And that takes us to number 2. Their patterns and their programs do not have to be your own. Most of us live our entire lives without understanding and acknowledging that our life, the way we think, the way we feel, the way we're showing up, is usually 99% of the time a reflection of the subconscious programs that we learned from our environment, that we learned from our parents, and they learned it from their parents, and then they learned it from their parents. It's completely generational for generations and generations and generations. I guarantee you some of the qualities and characteristics of your mother, of my mother, go back so many generations. Her mother, her father, grandma, grandpa, great grandpa. They don't have to be yours. You have a choice. Acknowledge these different subconscious patterns, these fears that come up for you, this desire to be perfect maybe, these different things and energies that are activated in your body that have been established by your parents' subconscious programs, these conditions. When we've placed that boundary so we can begin healing, like I talked about in number 1, we can begin taking a deeper look at these patterns in our life, whether it is our parents or somebody else. And we can either accept the ones that make us feel good, fuel us in a positive way, or we can choose to let go of the ones that aren't serving us. Because honestly, a lot of programs that we learn from our family, God bless them, I'm so grateful for my family, but they don't serve you. You know, they come from a place of fear often. You know, I had this really gnarly one of this fear of being left, this fear of not being perfect, and that stimulated from my relationship with my dad and my parents splitting up, and this fear around money that was established because my parents split up and money was always an object and problem and they fought over it for years. And instead of taking that on as my own, which I did for a very long time, I had to take a deeper look and go, Ashley, this isn't serving you and your your relationship with your husband. You need to let go in order to transcend the experience of what your parents are offering and establish your own life. You know, starting with that clean slate. If you want to start with that clean slate, you know, take a step back, acknowledge your parents for being and doing the best they can, and then also take their different things that held them back and allow yourself to acknowledge that those aren't the same things that need to hold you back. You know, how can you show up with more awareness to release what held them back and give yourself more freedom and more alignment to create your life on your terms? Number 4 is a statement that I absolutely love. I heard it through Jake so long ago. Don't go as often and don't stay as long. And this applies to any relationships in your life. If you have challenges with a friendship or with your parents or whatever, and it's offering you just toxic whatever, you don't always have to subject yourself to it. You know, it's about creating those boundaries, knowing your limitations and what it is you're going to allow your, energy to be imprinted upon. We have to have a respect and a worthiness for ourselves by placing those boundaries. So don't go as often and don't stay as long. And there's nothing to feel shameful about for that. You know, we have all of these different programs that moms and dads are so important. Family is number 1, which they are. Family is so valuable and so important. But when it's not serving you, when it's not serving them, when the relationship is toxic, don't feel ashamed for not going as often and not staying as long. There's nothing to be ashamed of for that. You're just encouraging the relationship to take a different shape and form, one that's more in alignment with what's going to not only serve you, but serve them. Boundaries are positive. A lot of people see boundaries as something that's negative or something to be ashamed of, especially when it comes to our parents. And honestly, in my experience with my parents, boundaries have been where the most healing has taken place. And I'll totally be vulnerable right now and open up to you, but I had a span where I didn't talk to my dad for a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. I didn't talk to my mom for a year, close to it. And that's okay. I remember feeling so ashamed of that. So just like, I'm a bad, I'm not trying to fix this, but sometimes fixing something and finding healing and growth in something is taking a step away from it, is allowing yourself to fully and absolutely heal without being bombarded with a conversation about it. So don't feel guilty or ashamed about not going as long and not going as often and not staying as long. You know, respect yourself, respect them, and stay true to what feels good and what's going to align you with the most love. Number 5 is definitely one that is so valuable when it comes to healing any relationship, but especially when it comes to healing your relationship with your mom and dad. Let go of what you think they did to you. Let go of what you think they did to you. It is not going to serve you. Move on and let go. You know, all we have is this present moment right here, right now. Right now. That's it. Right now. All that shit that you're carrying, that baggage, that stuff that's like icky, that thing that your mom did weeks ago, months ago, hours ago, dad did, what he didn't do, he left, that stuff is old news. And if you carry it around, that baggage is gonna go in your relationship, it's gonna go in the way that you're showing up in the world, it's gonna go with the way that the success that you feel, the way that you sabotage. Let it go. It's not going to heal you. Healing you is going to be able to release it and establish yourself from a clear foundation of who it is you are and who you intend to be. I don't think you intend to be insecure. Like, I didn't intend to be insecure in my life, but it came forward through my fear of being left because my dad and my mom split up. And I had to let go of that belief system. I had to say, this isn't gonna serve me. I need to establish a new sense of security around who it is I am as a woman, and honesty and trust in the partnership that I have. You're not going to serve the partnership you're stepping into or you currently have by carrying what mom and dad did in their relationship. You're going to sabotage your relationship. I began sabotaging my relationship with my husband, Jake Ducey. This was before we were engaged. I was sabotaging it because I was insecure with the idea of being left, of not being perfect. If I wasn't perfect, he wouldn't like me anymore and he would leave me. That was what was happening in here. And that was my baggage. That was my baggage that I had to like unpack week after week after week, time after time after time. When I kept being like freaking out about stuff, I had to go, oh my God, wait, Ashley, no. That is a past thing that's sabotaging your relationship now. Do you really want it, or do you want this relationship? Do you want this love of your life who is your partner and your best friend? And I wanted him more than I wanted the baggage. So you need to want something else, whether it's a great relationship or it's just freaking self-love right here and feeling better in this. You need to love this more than you love the baggage you're holding onto that your parents brought you. And not being a victim to it, but recognizing that it is empowering you in your life to show up in a bigger way. That what they did to you that does not serve you doesn't need to be a part of you any longer. Boom. This is what I've learned from both my parents in the past few years that has changed my life. How I show up in my relationships with my mom and dad has changed my life. It has been challenging beyond belief, and I have cried many freaking tears around it. I've had many moments. I mean, my parents got divorced for 14 years, you guys. That's a 1 and a 4. 14 years my parents got divorced. I can't even tell you what I dealt with. Maybe that can be a separate video. If you're interested in the story of my parents' divorce, comment below. Most traumatizing, challenging experience ever. And I'd be happy to share it. Well, actually I never have shared it because it's something I feel very vulnerable about. And I don't want to expose like family drama, but if you are interested in it, I would be happy to share it in a productive and healthy way. You know, I'm not being a victim to it. It's just, this is what I've learned. I hope these 4 things empower you in your life with your mom and your dad, and you show up in a more kind and profound way. You know, nobody deserves your anger. Nobody deserves your frustration. Show up with love, show up with support, and either the relationship will change or it won't. But choose you, because you are much more powerful than the stuff that's in your back pocket, the stuff that isn't serving you. Be in alignment with your health, and hopefully those relationships will align with that around you or not. Either way, you're choosing you, and that is the most powerful place to be. Even when it's your mom, even when it's your dad, even when it's your close siblings, they're just a relationship in your life. A relationship that you need to know and feel and mirror what it is you want to see and let go if it doesn't show up. Let go of the expectations around it. So that's my video. Please like this if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you love my channel. I love you too. And I'll just talk to you guys later. Let me know if you have any further questions, if you want me to make another video about this, if this is a conversation. I've never filmed this before, so I'm curious how it's gonna play out. But comment below, leave a comment, leave a question, something I could answer in another video. And I hope this helps you. You know, God bless you and your family. You know, they have served you in a way that only they could. Be grateful for them. Be grateful for the hardship. Be grateful for the beautiful memories. It's all in alignment with your individual spirit and what soul journey you are on in this life. So be so absolutely grateful. I would not be who I am if it weren't for my parents having an outrageously horrendous divorce for 14 years, and I'm grateful for them. So find gratitude in your heart, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really wanted to offer you guys a free gift from me to you. So if you see that link below, that is something that completely changed my life. It's called The Second Mind. It's a tool that my husband and I created together many years ago. I was working 60+ hours a week, folding clothes, commuting 4 hours a day, in debt about $6,000, and just not in a good space. We created this program together to rewire the subconscious mind and reprogram it to be a total magnet to the miracles we wish to create in our life. It offered me the opportunity to become the artist I wanted to be, selling $10,000 art pieces, and I wanted to give you the same opportunity. So if you head to that link down below, you will not regret it. It's just an awesome free trial from me to you. Thank you so much for watching my channel and subscribing. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.